Hello, I'm Luke. Now it's almost the end of summer, but still very hot in Korea. But there are some places where it is rather cool or even chilly. There are Uniqlo stores, Muji stores, airplanes to Japan, which are the targets of Boycott Japan in the South Korea-Japan trade war. Since the boycott started, credit card sales of Uniqlo and Muji have plummeted 70% and 58% respectively. Korean airlines have reduced flights to Japan minimum 36% to maximum 81%. The Japanese government and some press are responding to Boycott Japan like this: Koreans are too emotional or even childish. At the same time, they are insisting that private exchanges between Korea and Japan should continue despite tension between two countries' governments. In my opinion, these responses actually mean the Japanese government didn't expect Boycott Japan goes like this intense when it planned and enforced the economic sanctions against South Korea. Let's check out what the Japanese government didn't count in about Boycott Japan. First, Candlelight Revolution. Just 2 years ago, millions of Koreans filled the squares and streets with a candle in their hands and finally impeached President Park Geun-hye. And consequently, the former President Lee Myung-bak was also sent to prison. It is called Candlelight Revolution. Surprisingly, there was no physical violence during the revolution. Koreans made it only with patience, solidarity, and a sense of justice. Now Koreans are too proud of themselves to give in to any unjust power, even though it is a foreign government. You may know the South Korea-Japan trade war began with the Korean court rulings which allowed individual Korean citizens to sue Japanese companies for compensation over their use of forced labor during the Second World War. Then Japan used trade restrictions as a weapon against South Korea. It triggered Koreans' sense of justice as well as nationalism. One Korean newspaper described this situation like this: "Oh, we got over President Lee, President Park, now we've got Abe." Secondly, information technology. Korea is a leading nation in the global IT industry, and Koreans are one of the people who know very well about how to make changes online. Actually, there were several Boycott Japan campaigns back in Korea, but actually they didn't last long. This boycott, as you expected, has such a prominent difference that Koreans are connected with each other online and sharing information in real time. As soon as the Boycott Japan began, one Korean voluntarily made a website and application called No No Japan, showing which products around us are Japanese brands, which are the Korean substitutes. Among young Koreans, taking a photo shot or 인증샷 in Korean is quite popular during the boycott. For example, after canceling a flight to Japan, they take a selfie and share it online. It's like a fun play. Third, Koreans are never gonna forgive Japan from their heart unless the Japanese government admits the crimes of Japanese imperialism and apologizes to Korean victims. According to Japan, all issues related to wartime conduct were settled in 1965 when the two countries signed agreements establishing diplomatic and economic relations that included some compensations for Japanese actions during the war. What Koreans are angry the most for is that the Japanese governments have never happened to apologize to Korean victims. So far from apologizing, some Japanese politicians and high-level officials often denied Japanese military sexual slavery and even insulted the Korean victims. To make it worse, the statue of a girl of peace was taken down in an art exhibition during the South Korea-Japan trade war. So, how do you think this Boycott Japan is going from now on? I can say it like this. Now, Koreans are keeping calm and enjoying Boycott Japan, so I don't think Koreans will stop it soon.